Oh, I guess while this is happening, I'll go over what I was going to say. So, the final and most irritating control thing is you have 3D camera control sometimes. You would think that the second analog stick that comes with every PS2 would control that. You can customize controls. You cannot change this. You can't. I can't stress that enough. This is an unchangeable mechanic of the game. Switching weapons is the other analog stick, and changing the camera is the 2 upper shoulder buttons. Fuck you, player. Just fuck it. So, Pure Wild Child, Vanishing Gungaroo, which, yeah, fuck you. It's fucking done. So, the problems that brings up is you can't tell if it's like a weapon wheel, like in, Bioshock, where it's like, okay, you're holding the analog stick and now you're selecting them from like a round circle of options, because nothing visually comes up. It changes the same way as the shoulder buttons would change it. And it's really haphazard, because, like, your instinct is to switch by going left and right, but sometimes that doesn't work. So I think you have to rotate. And I can't really tell why, or what, or just any part of it, really. And then meanwhile, the camera rotation, I think, is inverted. So it goes the opposite way as you would expect. So both components of the already pointlessly wrong system are worse than they need to be by already being the worst part of the controls. And it's just baffling, because it's not like this is an N64 era thing where it's like Mega Man Legends or like Mario 64. How are we going to translate our 2D into 3D? We don't know. It's like, this is just a third-person shooter on the PS2. There's been plenty of time for people to figure out these kind of controls.
No, just take Legends and make it control a little better. That's what you fucking need to do.
Legends 2 already controlled pretty well, all things considered, and it was tank controls. So just, you have the guaranteed second analog stick, just do the obvious thing. Like, and it's not even an early PS2 game, I don't think, if I'm remembering
It's
right.
like 2003, so...
It's something like that. And X8 comes out like less than a year after this. So it's just, it blows my mind how bad every component of it is. Just all of them. And that control thing is like the crown jewel of it, because it's like, they were attempting their best to get 3D right, quote unquote. There's a quote somewhere where, I swear to God we saw it. It says, we did 3D right, or we think we did 3D right, and it's just like, but just by definition you didn't. Just by doing these simple things objectively wrong, you failed. And there was no reason for it to fail. It's just unbelievable how bad some of it is.
Now, a lot of this room is fucking wandering due to short-ass render distance.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do here is there is one other rescue Reploid that we know...
I think there's 2.
No, well, I already got one. That's the thing, is there's one other rescue Reploid that I'm missing that I know is in here. We have a list, and we've practiced. We know he's in this room. And just follow along with me on this, because it's not like it was just out of the corner of my eye and I was being stupid. It's just, you keep missing him. So, once you see and figure this out with us, it's just infuriating, because it doesn't even make sense. Like, it isn't a good hiding spot. It's not even a hiding spot. Oh, actually, okay, you can see him just then. But even then, so briefly, yeah, and I'm focused on, like, my lock-on and shit like that. So it's like, is he in there? No, I don't know where he is. Let's keep fucking doing laps around this room and not progressing goddamn LP at all. Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, here's all of this. Try climbing on the walls, sliding around. What? Just why? Where? What is happening? What is anything right now?
Oh, there he is!
Oh, you're still fast-forwarding it? Yeah, I could have stopped when we found him, but whatever.
I thought I did stop it.
Well, you failed!
I failed! We found him in the middle of the
Yeah,
fucking
so he was
acid
sitting
rain.
in the acid, not taking any damage, even though, why? But whatever. So, this section is now just right armors. And I want to go on record as saying that there are light armors in this stage. I walked past at least 3 of them. Going through as X, you are faster and stronger.
And more maneuverable.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, the right armors at this point are incorrect. Right armors should never be the wrong option. And don't worry, I will be riding one of them, because this is another fresh instance of being able to take the right armor into the boss fight with you. And it's kinda helpful.
Kinda.
You'll see when we get there. But First, I need to slog through all these damage sponges. At least the right armors make sense as being that big and tough, though, so I'll pass that. Like, that's fine. You finally did it right. Well, quote-unquote. Right here, these doors are kind of temperamental. I'm actually surprised how quickly they respond, because there have been plenty of instances playing through where I'm just, like, rubbing my face all over the door and just won't trigger. So I have to, like, leave just a pretty good distance, then walk back, and then it decides to open. It's like, alright, cool.
What you need to do in this room is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, so, first of all, it took me a long time initially to find out that the upgrades were up here, because your first instinct is to wall climb on the big noticeable walls. You can't. You can only wall climb on these pillars. The outer walls, you just can't wall climb. No reason for it, but whatever. Second is right now, you're in the boss fight arena. Basically, you're still going to have to go through a loading screen, because again, there is no god, you cannot have any fun. In order to quote-unquote go through the shutter, you need to kill all of the enemies. Except not all of the enemies.
Yeah.
Because the turtles do not count, and the right armors continuously respawn. Eventually, there will be a 5 remaining counter. But that doesn't show up until you've already killed almost 5 of them. Which, as a player, eventually leads you to think, I'm doing the wrong thing, what am I missing? I'm going to stop fighting and explore the room. Which is bad, because you have to keep fighting. So, since we've already had instances of, here's the time bomb amount, like on the right chaser stage, where here's your time limit, here's the amount of objectives remaining, you know that you can track things above 5, so why is there not just a 10 enemies remaining thing? Like, why is there no feedback? Why are the turtles here if they don't count towards that total? Like, why any of this? Why is the camera so fucking close to you when you need to be focusing on such large targets? Why?
Why do they flip with each other constantly?
It's all an exercise. Yeah, there you go. It's just all an exercise in, like, how did you get this so wrong? And none of it is complicated stuff. Like, all of this is just basics that they got wrong. And that's the worst thing about it, because, like, I could almost see a salvageable game here. It would still be probably one of the worst ones, just by virtue of, like, being kind of hokey and not being well written. But it could at least control decently, and they just didn't. They just decided, like, nah, we're fine with this. It goes against all modern gaming conventions, but we don't really care. So, in order to get the right armor into the fight, you need to be in it, then you jump out of it for that forced teleportation animation, then it just spawns in the room with you after the cutscene.
Good job.
Yeah.
You did it.
Destroy! Destroy! Destroy!
So, now that you're sufficiently angry at this...
Look at me! I'm king of the mountain!
No, now you're angry. Actually, I'm just gonna keep letting it go.
Do you know how hard we worked to rebuild this world?
I'm fed up with this world!
Shut up! Don't order me around, you pile of scrap metal!
Shoot, looks like there's no choice but to fight.
Remember when we used to say damn?
Yeah. So, I wanted to go on record that despite how infuriatingly terrible Vanishing Gungaroo is just everything. This is the worst for that rotation problem that I was talking about earlier, by the way, the opposite direction feeling. Because you are all over the place.
Like, this is one of the few times where you need to actually rotate the camera.
And you really need to. But, I think it's a missed opportunity to have this boss concept in a good game. Because I actually really like the idea of a Joey who's using a right armor as the Mama Kangaroo. I think that's really clever. But it's in this game with this voice acting and this fight, so it's just like, well, you just pissed all over it. Like, this could have been great, but it just isn't. So, getting into them is temperamental. I'm saving it for a little later into the fight, and then it ends up not working the way it's supposed to, so you don't even really get to see what I was going to try, which, sorry, I'll explain it at least.
I think we do it in the regular version, but I can't.
I think we do, so it's at least present, but in any case, I'll explain it. This is another fight that's really aggravating on the whole aim assist versus lock-on, no shot leading thing. And at least it seems like it's supposed to be this boss's gimmick, because he is dodging around, he even has all the after images. That was me accidentally setting off the Giga Attack, because hey, let's have the forced camera perspective thing be the buttons for the Giga Attack, because you hit L and R at the same time. Those are also the buttons that rotate the camera. Why is it not weapon related?
What do L1 or L2 and R2 do?
I set it to dash, but that's because I set it to dash. It doesn't even use all the buttons on the controller. So what I'm trying to do is you can jump on him, and I do land it once or twice, I think.
Yeah, you hit him a few times, I think.
Also, this is supposed to be the right. So do you remember the red right armor from the PS1 games that has like the energy blade?
Yeah.
This is the Raiden Mark II. No, it isn't. It isn't. It's not even remotely the same, but it's red, so fuck it. Also, there's a blue right armor that's vaguely similar to the Hawk or the Falcon ones, like the flying ones from X3 and X4, respectively. But it's that. Yeah, so crown jewel of just lazy.
And that's about its range, too.
Yeah, that is literally its range. So, and the worst part is in my experimentation, it's actually a decent weapon damage-wise, but not even explosive wave or something, like just...
Or explosion kick, or
like, yeah, just anything.
Why does the kangaroo explode?
Yeah, why is it not like a knuckle shot?
Or
like,
triangle kick?
Just... Oh, God, like, of all of the weapons that I'm mad at, and I'm mad at a lot of these weapons, that one gets me the most because it just clearly shows that they didn't care. Just, they
That
didn't...
wheel, though.
With the wheel at least does something. And the wheel, even if it's a shitty name, it's still a normally conventioned name. So, like, we already had Spin Wheel, which is the awesome saw blade from X2 that just ruins everything. This one is Moving Wheel, which... That's what a wheel does, you're right. But Explosion is just explosion. And it's not even really an explosion. So it's just like... any modicum of effort. Just at all. Just... try harder!
Don't surprise me like that. You mean Axel's imitator ability?
Meanwhile, Sigma's looming in the... I'm sorry, question marks is looming in the background.
Man, I wonder who it is. I also kind of like his voice.
Yeah, I don't mind question marks' voice.
I mean, it's still bad, but I like it because it's like...
I love...
This is me doing the Mad Catter's voice or whatever from like... What? No, what's... the Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. It's that. It's a cartoon villain voice. You can't take it seriously.